All right, we finished. We started. I think we finished 28. We go up to 29. Okay. Okay. The introduction 29 looks pretty short. Introduction in the Lev Tov. She's binding kamash ha'erach shel nafshe oila ha'erach shel gufay. Cheshbon and nefesh to, I guess, values. Value of your nefesh is though how much greater is it than value on your guf? Harbi yosef talarapis gufay. Afmemachi kosher mashal rapis nafshe miskapis. It's much easier to heal the body. There's some background noise by somebody.
Yeah.
No, you don't hear. I hear talking.
Oh, that's probably my.
Oh, now it's quiet. No. Yeah. Okay. And that it's much easier to heal the body, even from a serious illness, much easier than to heal the nefesh from the yetzer. And you gotta demand from yourself that your main focus is Shlemis of the Ruchniyus. Okay, let's see it inside. Let's see where he's going with this. That's what he said. You get your values straight. And understand that there are people. What is he saying? That their value is greater than others? To the extent you can have one person that's equal to 1,000. And you should know that he's greater than them. It's not because he's physically strong. It's because of his levels of Ruchniyus. People, Klal Yisrael said to David HaMelech, Kim nois nonus lo yisimu aleinu lev, vim yamusu chetzienu lo yisimu aleinu lev, ki ata komeinu asaras alofim. If I had a guess, okay, I don't know Navi, but if I had a guess, the Klal Yisrael was telling David HaMelech that he shouldn't go out to war. He should stay behind. He wanted to lead the troops. And they were saying to him, if we flee, no one's going to notice. Half of us die. But now, you're like worth 10,000. So we just see that they're expressing themselves that David HaMelech was worth so much more. Says even those women that are prettier than other women, if they don't have spiritual levels, so then not only isn't their beauty nice, beautiful, it's disgusting. A golden nose ring in the nose of a chazir. He compares it to an isha yofa v'saras tam on the bottom chaseres toichin v'oifi, lacking any inner value. And he compares it to a nezem zov b'af chazir. I never saw this on my own. I seem to remember hearing that the Gross says on what it says, Sheker Achein v'Hevel Yiras Hashem eat this hollow. But a woman who is a Yiras Hashem, then it's not Sheker Achein v'Hevel Yifi. So that would seem to be aligned with what he's saying over here. that a woman with external beauty, if she does have malus Ruchniyus, then that's special. He's saying, but if they don't have a malus Ruchniyus, then that beauty becomes ugly. Ubamida Shehincha Mavin, I'm not sure how that will fit into what we're talking about here. But let's see. Ubamida Shehincha Mavin Kama She'erach Shanafka Oila Erach Shagufka. As much as you understand that your nefesh, the value of your nefesh is so much greater than the nefesh of the value of your body, then you need to involve yourself in things that protect you from oynish and bring you to Elas Eitzel Hashem and give you favor by Hashem. That yes, Hashem views your nefesh. Is it clean? Is it dirty? Is it praiseworthy? If you choose the good, does it choose the bad? Is it following the intellect or following its desires? And therefore, put more of an emphasis, be more busy. And this is like an important line because we get someone wrapped up with our physical, with our guf and our physical needs. On a certain level, it's like we have no choice. We live in a physical world. But he's saying here, you should always do constantly to the nyone nafshecha. It's easier to heal the body from a difficult illness, more than it's easier than to heal the nefesh. I guess when it's in the clutches of the Yetzer. On the bottom, so you do your homework with and you gotta get the right medicine. The spirit of the seichel is sick. If your mind is good, you can deal with the physical. But if the mind's gone, is corrupt, then you don't have anyone who's going to worry. I mean, the goof isn't going to worry about that, and therefore you're without tools. V'oidomar in Mishlei mikol mishmor nitzar libecha ki mimeno tetzaros chayim. On the bottom, Yosef v'kol dover yokar shemcha shemer love. More so than anything that's precious that you protect, nitzar libecha, protect your heart. Shmar al sichlecha. Guard your mind. Shall yosam haderech yishar, it shouldn't turn from the right way. Because that's the source. Which is the most precious thing is your life. Okay, let's see. I think we need some of Matisho here to give us a clarity of what. I don't know what he threw in there about the woman. Pretty and not being pretty. I don't know what that was about. Okay. Atisha ve'esrim. It's on page Kuf Chof Ches. She's pointing Yisrei Nafsha Gufa Pirish HaNefesh Yesh LeChashuv and Lekutz Yesim Gufa. The nefesh you have, it's more important and more necessary than the Gufa. Yaki Yisrei Tzas Bnei Yodam Tzosam Ad She'Adam Echad Shokol Kineged Elf Bnei Yodam Af Shekol Echad Ve'Echad Chosh Mitzad Shu Adam. Those says what? So each person is very important because he's an Adam. Still, there are individuals that people consider them more important than others. Sometimes they'll consider them even 1,000 times better. He says it's clear. That person who's being valued, who's been giving such a great value, it's not because he's so strong, Ruchniyus. On the bottom, he says, because you could argue, if someone has extremely, very strong, he does have more value, right? He would be hired for more money because he is valued more. He says, not yet, but Rabbeinu Madav Mitzad Malas Musa Adam. He says, we're talking here about your inherent value. The fact that you're strong and therefore you can get, you get paid more money, that's not inherently anything about you. It's an external value that you have, that you're strong. And it's true that a gvura has some adifus, but it just means you're like a horse, you're strong. Created also. Horses also do very hard work. It's not something that's a mila of the odom. When you talk about a mila of an odom, it has to be something that's inherently something about a person, that he's a human, that he's a person. If you give him value because he's a gorilla, that's not something inherently because he's human. If anything, a gorilla is better than him. Then if you're going to give him value because he's so strong and he can lift so much and he can work so hard. We have a guy in the yeshiva now. He's putting in, 8-hour days, 10-hour days, and he wants to take over the night shift also. And I said to him, where does he get strength to work? 12 hours a night, 14 hours a day. Okay, you know what I mean? But that doesn't make him a better Adam. Doesn't make him a better Adam. Makes him a gorilla. Okay, he's a gorilla. He could jump higher. He could run quicker. Doesn't make him more Adam. The Adam is what an Adam is, and that's a Yisrain of the nefesh. That's what makes a man stand apart. That's what he's saying. Klal Yisrael Amar LeDavid, Shu Choshev Etzem Chaseres Alfei Ish. Klal Yisrael said to David that he's equal to them, to 10,000 people. Ruchniyus. What was the intention? What they meant? Because of his greatness in Ruchniyus. It's not because he was the strongest 10,000 people. He wasn't a. Miskane, Nesim Zov, Avchaze Ishifas, Yofa V'Sorish Tam. Af Isha Shesh Lamal Sayofi. I guess just like a man, you talk about his Milo being strong, right? And we're bouncing that off Milo of Ruch. So a woman, her Milo, if you were going to talk about the Milo woman, is that she's very pretty. Right? So he's saying also, that Milo being pretty, if she's lacking the Milo of a Seichel and good midas, and any thinking person would not value her prettiness. It's just like to the extent that Shlomo compared her beauty to a nice jewel, a nice jewelry on the nose of a chazir. She's basically a chazir that has that she's pretty. She's not a special person. So her prettiness doesn't make her better. And he's even saying here, her prettiness without the seichel, without the midas tavis, it's a minus. As you appreciate the value of your nefesh over your body, so then you should be, if you understand that and appreciate the value of the nefesh, then what should you be doing? You should be trying to develop your nefesh, right? The sees the nefesh if it's clean or it's dirty, and you should be investing there. That it should be in Hashem's eyes as good. Ushvacha gnusa b'kirasa b'teiva baran and teisa v'sifra v'intavasaha. Alkein b'koidin yon neha tamid yosef v'kodcha inach l'gufa. Ploimer. Even Shabbai Safek Enach Hashbacha Machshavas Adam El Figueira Chivas Nafshe. Being that Hashem's price tag is as how great is the nefesh, how you've developed your nefeshes. He doesn't look to see how strong you are. Tzarech Adam Fakech, so a person has to see, overlook that, oversee that. L'avoid al nafshay, lying b'tzrachel. What does the nefesh need? Yosim al Yanagufa more than being involved. What the body needs. And he goes on, V'daki gufka yosef curvely rapim in akosha shabachalen k'shiyipol boy mirfuas nafshcha mimadve hayetzek shugoyva olav tzaylam. Tzarech l'shmos hanefesh shaloi ticha. You have to guard the nefesh. It shouldn't get sick. Pirish shlo yasa dvarim shal yoda mashkira umetamtama. Shouldn't do things that will cause the nefesh to be mashkira, dark. Umitamtama, stuffed up, not clear. Or things that just are gonna hold you back from attaining your perfection. If your nefesh is defiled, desecrated because of Avera, then how do you fix it? There's no if your body's sick, so you have the nefesh that will address the sickness. You have the seichel that will address the sickness and work to find a healing process. But if it's the seichel that's not good, then there's nothing. Then you're not left with any tools that's going to heal that. You might have to turn to an outside thing. But you yourself, if you don't see straight, if you don't understand right, if you think wrong, if your mind's not in the right place, if your nefesh in the right place, then how do you break out of that? I guess that's what Chazal say, another matter asmai bibeis hasurim, that a person can't free himself from his own jail. So if he has a physical sickness, his mind and his seichel could help him find a way out. But if it's his mind that's jailed, then he has no way to get out of that. Let's see what it says on the bottom. If we look into the halacha of Ben Sarah and Moira, near Shadina Kosher, it would appear that it's a very strict din. Parents have to bring him to Besdin, the harig, to be killed. Why? Because he ate a lot and drank a lot. Which means that he's being judged for Misa because he ate a lot. The tzarech beer. But Sefer Chinuch says, the Sefer Chinuch says, beer adav shreif chatas v'adam yasif b'tzibas v'ibra achil shtir. So Sefer Chinuch, most of the various a person does is because of an overindulgence in eating and drinking. This food is the Isa is the dough of the physical. It's the medium of the physicality. Is b'inus b'musko, but the giving thought in intellectual things would be that's the medium of the nefesh. And therefore our Torah, for our benefit, holds us back from overindulging. There's a lot of food you can't eat. And because if you overindulge, then your physical becomes the overriding aspect of you. The whole halacha ben Tzarimar only applies in the 3 months, the first 3 months after he turns bar mitzvah. Torah didn't make this halacha in your whole lifetime. What's the difference? If overindulging is your downfall, it should be at any point. The Adam is commanded about this when he's at the beginning of his development, I guess. And when he's just starting now, he's just going into the obligation of Torah and mitzvahs. These are the first 3 months of Rishon. And from those 3 months, if he's careful in those 3 months, that's the foundation. It's the beginning. It's the foundation for his avodas Hashem. And that will be Musa for his whole life. Says Matzil, this is a new understanding in the obligation of bar mitzvah, bar mitzvah drasha shal hatayra. It's not just that now I'm obligated. Says that the big difference is in the shmira, from now on, you're held responsible for your nefesh. And someone who can't take care of his nefesh properly, Omer Torah. So the Torah says, "Mutav sheyom zakai, let him die. Zakai v'yom chayiv." That's right. Those are the first 3 months. Those first 3 months are critical, says the Sefer Chinuch, in defining who you're going to be. This is where you're starting out with. And are you starting with? It's like, are you putting your right foot forward or your left foot forward? If you put your left foot forward, it means that your whole binyan is going to be built on that. And therefore, there's no reason for you to mutav she'am wasakai. If you put your right foot forward, then go ahead. Again, like the Chovos was saying, if you don't get the first things down right, then everything else you're going to do is built on that. Everything will be corrupt. You'll view things totally corrupt. Everything is going to be like that. Ukemachu moves it's almost like a situation where there's no return. It's true you could do tshuva. He avoided kosher, but it's very difficult because you don't have the right foundation. So he's lost the value of an adam. The chomais adam in binyan nefesh, like we said, the whole value of a person is nefesh. The body is not his value. Then he's just an animal. And animals could do things better than any person. They could jump higher, they could run quicker, they could lift more. Whatever a man could do, animals could do better. Okay. So to wrap it up, you have to have the right value system. What's the most important thing in your life? Is it the nefesh or is it the physical? All right.